Welcome to episode 7 of FNL Fridays on the FNL Health channel. My name is Teresa and I am here to guide you through all things fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. This topic is how to incorporate fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle habits while traveling abroad. So as many of you probably know by now, Joe and I just got back a few days ago from a 5-week vacation through Europe. We were backpacking. It was amazing. We did so many awesome things and saw so many amazing places, which I will share in a later video. But I wanted to talk about methods that we use as people who are pretty into our health and fitness to implement as we travel, because as all of us know, when you travel, it's a little bit harder to stay on track with your nutrition and stay on track with your fitness. So I wanted to give you some tips and ways that we manage it, so maybe next time you travel, you can use these as well. Thing that you need to acknowledge when you're traveling, and especially when you're traveling abroad, is that things are going to be really different. So we knew when we were going on this trip that there isn't going to be a 24-hour fitness on every corner, and it's not super easy necessarily to just jump into different gyms the way that it is when you're in the States. So knowing that ahead of time and kind of anticipating that is the first piece of advice that I would give you. You know what to anticipate for your trip. It's important to think about the kinds of things that you're going to be doing. So are you going to be doing a lot of things indoors, or are you going to be doing more outdoors like biking, walking around, exploring? For us, we love to explore and we like to be outside and we like to do things that are physical. So we rented bikes, we planned a lot of walking, and we even planned workouts just in our Airbnbs and in our hotels. That way we knew we would get our movement in. Even though it didn't look really anything like we do here in the States, because we have gym access, we have a home gym, we like to lift weights, but obviously we weren't going to be carrying 35-pound dumbbells in our backpacks. So we knew that the type of exercise and fitness we were going to be getting in would be very different from what we get here in the United States. The fitness side, that was the biggest part of it. Just knowing that things were going to be really different and trying to build movement into our day every day. So again, it's not that you have to be lifting weights every day or following the same routine that you do normally, but just trying to get your body moving, challenging yourself, even just going up and down stairs, or maybe you do 25 push-ups every morning. 2 years ago when we went to Canada, that's what I did. We went to Canada for a week and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything else except get my 25 push-ups in every day. And just that made me feel really good. It made me feel like I was still staying on track with fitness because I was still challenging myself, because 25 push-ups for me is challenging. So it was still something that I was working on and improving on and keeping my body moving, keeping my body fit while I was traveling with no gym, with no equipment. The type of person that likes to explore a lot, it's pretty easy to get a lot of walking in, especially in Europe. Europe is just such a pedestrian-friendly place. It's older. There's plenty of cars, of course, but it's built kind of more for walking, I think, than the newer countries like the United States. So for us, we had no problem getting a lot of walking in. And that in itself is just wonderful exercise, and most of us don't walk enough anyway. So that could be one of the things that you anticipate on is, hey, I might not be lifting weights or doing my regular routine, but I know that I'm going to walk a bunch while I'm there. On the nutrition side of things, this is where I would really encourage you to not worry about dieting. Hopefully you're not dieting anyway, but not worrying about not enjoying the foods that you're going to experience, because again, when you travel, especially to another country, that is such a huge part of the experience is the food. It's part of the culture. It's part of how people interact with each other and just the overall experience of the place. So please don't miss out on all of the delicious foods and drinks that these places have. It's still okay if you want to just kind of keep things in moderation, but I know for us, we had what we wanted. It wasn't about like, oh, well, I gotta order just salad everywhere. I was like, fuck no, I'm gonna get the pretzels that I wanted, I'm gonna get the gelato, and I'm gonna get the pierogies and whatever else it was. I wanted to enjoy my time there. I wanted to enjoy the culture and the food. So do that, and don't worry too much about dieting or overdoing it, especially if you are getting a lot of movement in. Again, in Europe, we were walking all over the place every single day, so I didn't really feel concerned about the fact that I was eating the foods that I wanted to because I was getting in so much movement. That being said, we also did do a lot of home cooking at our Airbnb. So this is something we kind of always do when we travel. We go to the grocery store pretty much first thing. We get a bunch of staples that we normally eat, so a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, and we cook a lot of that at our place. So of course we go out, we enjoy the drinks and the food, but we also try to kind of eat how we normally do anyway. And that also saves you a lot of money. So that's just another extra bonus to kind of staying on track with your nutrition. If you are somebody who is really concerned about your nutrition while you travel, and that's fine if you're someone who just really wants to pay more attention to it and be a little bit more on track, if you will, and eat how you normally eat here, that's fine. I would recommend just paying attention to what you're eating then and perhaps limiting it to going out once or twice a day instead of eating out for every meal. And if you are going to eat out, perhaps choosing which dishes you really want as opposed to which ones are just there and they're convenient, but you don't necessarily want to indulge in every single meal. So that's another method that we use sometimes where it's like, yeah, we could eat, all these different kinds of foods and eat out for every single meal and snack on the street vendors' food, but that also could end up being a lot. So for us, it's kind of like maybe we do just breakfast and dinner out, and then we have lunch at home, or maybe we just do lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch. And that way we have one meal at home. Again, it saves us money. It helps us kind of start on a good foot because we know that we're kind of paying attention to what we're eating. For lifestyle, this is a really big one, but it kind of ties into what I was just talking about with the fitness and the nutrition habits. So yes, you're traveling, and yes, you may be concerned about making sure your fitness routine stays somewhat regular and making sure you're kind of staying on track with nutrition. But my biggest piece of advice on the lifestyle end would be enjoy your trip. Now, if you're traveling like just all the time for work within the United States or something like that, this maybe doesn't apply. But for us, this was a big ass trip, and this was like we were immersed in the culture for 5 weeks. A month, we were traveling, and we really wanted to experience this and live like the locals and do what they were doing. So for us, it was like, we're on vacation. We planned for this. We want to fully immerse ourselves in this. So just enjoy it. Don't stress too much about your workouts. Don't stress too much about what you're eating. Most of us are not going to get amazing trips like this very often, if ever. So my biggest piece of advice would be just enjoy yourself and soak it all in, have fun, and don't stress too much because that is not what vacation is about. Top tips for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle while traveling abroad. Hopefully that's helpful for you, especially if you do have a trip coming up. I know for us, we are already planning our next big trip, probably at least a year or two away, but we are super excited. And like I mentioned, I will post another video later about all of the places we visited and everything we saw later. And until next Friday, have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon.